Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Now at 5:30, we're tracking a crime alert out of Lexington where police say a man robbed a gas station overnight.
Also on WKYT This Morning, police in one county think 3 arrests in a counterfeit cash case may be connected to crimes in another Kentucky county.
And several memorials are planned to remember a Georgetown College graduate who was murdered while working in another country. These stories in breaking news as it happens on WKYT This Morning.
Hello there, good morning and welcome in to WKYT. So good to have you here on Thursday, September 25th. We're rolling really toward October at this point. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Love that time of year. This time of year.
It is. It's just been fantastic. You know, imagine the last few days and then we have more to enjoy as we head toward the weekend with good weather, sunshine. Let's check in with Micah now in our First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, the last time we had a chance, just a chance of rain, was on this past Sunday. Think about going in toward next Sunday, this coming up Sunday, and you're going to be a week away from even having that chance. Not seeing rain, but even have the chance of seeing a couple of raindrops fall out of the sky. So that's a long period of time. So yeah, rain won't ever hurt anybody. We kind of need a little bit of it across the region. No rain out there this morning. And as we head toward the afternoon, we go from the 40s, 50s, and even a couple of 60s sprinkled in down toward the southeast to about 78 degrees. Yeah, we're going to be in the upper 70s today. Maybe squeezing out an 80 degree here or there, but it's not as cool the next couple of days. You see, we're getting warmer and warmer each and every day. That usually means one thing, and that's rain. And I'll talk about when it falls on your 7-day coming up.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit. We thank you. Here's the latest now from WKYT News. We're tracking some crime alerts in Lexington from overnight. Police are searching for a man who robbed a gas station.
They're also searching for another who robbed a driver. The two crimes happened just a few blocks apart from one another. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is live at Speedway with more.
Good morning, everyone. Lexington police spent the night trying to track down the suspects in 2 overnight robberies. The first one happened here at this Speedway on New Circle Road just before midnight. Police say a man walked in, showed the clerk a gun, and demanded money. When he left, he ran back behind the store down Meadow Lane. Officers brought in K-9 units, but were not able to track that man down. Police are looking at surveillance video of that suspect. The second robbery happened just a few blocks away around 2:15 this morning. Police say someone driving down Loudon Avenue picked up a man wearing jeans, a hoodie, and black shoes. After a short drive, the passenger pulled out a silver semi-automatic handgun and took $40 and a cell phone from the driver. A K-9 unit also came out to that scene and tracked the suspect's scent around Meadow Lane and then lost it. Now, even though these two crimes happened in the same area overnight, right now, police do not believe that either of them are related. Live in Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
Whitney, thank you. And 3 men are still on the run this morning after a late-night holdup at a video game store. Last night, Lexington police say 3 men wearing masks walked into the GameStop on West New Circle Road with a gun, and they told everyone there to get on the ground. We're told they then took money from the register as well as a customer's wallet and a cell phone. Police found the cell phone, but they did not recover the wallet or the money.
A man accused of firing shots into his neighbor's car after an argument is now behind bars. 41-year-old Brian Judson is charged with intimidating a witness. WKYT's Mark Barber is live from the courthouse to explain more on this story.
Good morning, Bill and Rebecca. Police say because Brian Judson's neighbors are taking him to court, he tried to intimidate them against testifying against him in court. Now, according to an arrest citation, a married couple who lives on the 300 block of Wilson Downey Road called police Tuesday afternoon when they saw their neighbor staring at their home. Investigators say 41-year-old Brian Judson was sitting in a chair in his driveway, watching their house with a hand in his pants, acting like he had a gun. The neighbors were already at odds. Earlier this month, police told us Judson shot their car when it was parked in their backyard. According to the arrest warrant, in the 3 to 4 years the married couple has known Judson, he's threatened to kill them several times. We're told he was released from jail last week and was ordered to have no contact with his neighbors. The shooting case will go before a grand jury, and that's why police believe he was trying to intimidate his neighbors this week. One of those neighbors told officers she doesn't feel safe in her home anymore, so she packed up and moved out. Judson is now charged with intimidating a person in the legal process. He is scheduled to appear in court for an arraignment this afternoon. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. 5:36 now on WKYT this morning. Police have arrested a man suspected of stealing hundreds of dollars worth of items from storage units.
Police recovered some of the stolen property at a motel just a couple miles down the road. Aaron Berner was arrested at the Bluegrass Inn on South College Street. Police found a lot of items in his room, including electronics and toys and clothing. He's now charged with receiving stolen property. Police were able to return some of the stolen items, but one victim tells us they're still missing some things that can't be replaced.
That's all I had left of my mom. So, you know, when you find out somebody takes it, it makes it hurt worse. I mean, the fact that he stole from my kids, he stole from, us. It just hurts.
Watkins and Nichols say they know several of the units besides theirs were also broken into.
This morning, more people have been arrested accused of trying to use counterfeit money. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office says James Vyers, Linda Alton, and Betty Stewart tried to pass a fake $100 bill at 2 stores before being caught. The serial numbers on those bills match ones found earlier in Somerset and in Boyle County. 3 people from South Carolina were arrested trying to use fake money in Danville last week. Police there have been trying to connect those cases to the 3 in Somerset.
Well, several memorials have been planned to remember a Georgetown College graduate who was murdered in Chile. A memorial service will be held tonight in Owensboro for Erica Hagan. The 22-year-old was teaching English at a school in that country. She was found dead in her apartment there earlier this month. Police say a school security guard has been arrested in the case. There will also be a memorial this Saturday in Marshall County. Georgetown College is also planning a memorial. No date for that has been set. Well, most of them have never met him, but customers of a Lexington bar came together last night to help raise money for a man's recovery.
Guam National Guard soldier Noel Espino is still recovering at UK Hospital. Espino suffered serious injuries in a hit-and-run crash outside the Beer Trap in Chevy Chase Friday night. To help Espino and his family with his medical bills, the Beer Trap teamed up with several other local businesses to hold a fundraiser last night. Jared McCargo is the man accused in the crash that injured Espino. The former Lexington firefighter is charged with DUI and assault. Our partners at the Herald Leader report McCargo is also wanted on a DUI charge out of Georgia. The warrant goes all the way back to 2002. We talked with the Lexington Fire Department to find out why a background check didn't find that. The city fired McCargo on Monday. He has pled not guilty to the charges from Friday's crash.
A group in Winchester is raising money to help lay a homeless man to rest. Friends of Charles Eck say his unusual spot was on a bench, or his usual spot, I should say, was on a bench outside the Peddler's Mall. Employees say he'd also help inside the store. Eck died a couple of weeks ago, and his friends say they're the only family he had. They want to make sure the Vietnam vet gets a proper burial.
And he died alone. We don't think he should be buried alone.
Chuck wasn't just your ordinary, person on the street. Chuck he let us all know, that there is good people out there no matter, what the situation is.
If you'd like to help out and donate, you can visit their GoFundMe page. We'll have a link to it on WKYT.com. Well, state officials say they've made changes in the wake of a prison death. 57-year-old James Embry died during a hunger strike in January at the Kentucky State Penitentiary in Eddyville. Those changes include the dismissal of 2 doctors and another medical professional. A new policy for inmates who aren't eating has also been put in place.
A federal grand jury has indicted a Richmond man on charges that he threatened U.S. Congressman Andy Barr. The FBI says Russell Little repeatedly phoned the threats into Barr's office during a 5-month period. The final call came on August 4th. State police arrested Little later that day after he led them on a chase from Laurel County into Rockcastle County.
Well, e-cigarettes could be added to Lexington's smoking ban. Vice Mayor Linda Gorton sent an email to the Urban County Council asking them to discuss expanding the ban. She says she hopes they'll discuss the ordinance on October 1st. The Herald Leader reports that Berea, Bardstown, Danville, Glasgow, Manchester, and Richmond have already banned e-cigarettes. On October 6th, Versailles will have a second reading on a smoking ban that includes e-cigarettes. A committee working to redraw school lines in Fayette County will meet later today. 3 new schools are in the planning process, including a new high school. The meeting starts at 4:30. It has been moved from its original location. The meeting will now be held in the conference room at the Fayette County Public Schools main office building on Main Street.
Time to check live drive traffic for you again this morning and see what's happening bright and early on your Thursday. As we look outside right now, take a live camera of the interstate, I-64, I-75 at the northern split, and things are moving along fine in that location. There is some construction continuing, of course, on 64. We have no reports of any early troubles this morning, so everybody buckle up. Let's make it a safe one, and Officer Don will guide you in a little bit later on. And there's still a lot more news coming up here on your Thursday morning.
Lightning strikes for one lucky ticket holder with a win worth more than $200 million.
And we're looking outside, seeing 40s, 50s, and even a couple of 60s down toward the southeast. Going in toward the afternoon, it gets warmer and warmer each and every afternoon off towards your weekend, which means a little rain's on the way. And I'll talk about when you can expect that around your neck of the woods coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris and First Alert Defender.
Well, we're looking outside at the moment and seeing those temperatures holding on to the 40s, 50s, even a couple of 60s down south. It kind of just depends on where you are. This cool air just doesn't want to move out of the region there in the southern zones. And you can see a lot of clear skies outside, too. So no matter where you look, it's a beautiful start to the day. No fog being an issue out and about. And as we continue to go throughout the day, well, just hold on to a lot of sunshine. And that's what we're going to be dealing with the next few days. There is no change in our forecast from the past couple of days, except for the weekend. That's where you start seeing a few changes, but it's really later on. So much of your weekend is going to be dry and a little warmer, and I'll show you those temperatures coming up. 78 this afternoon, a mild afternoon we'll call it. Typically this time of year we're in the mid-70s, about 75 degrees. And you can see tomorrow morning there in the mid-50s, not as cool. So continue with those nice days. It looks like that's going to just go ahead and stick with us all the way through the weekend. Temperatures will gradually be on the increase throughout the next couple of days, too. Right around 80 degrees there, 80 to about 83 there on Saturday. And even Sunday sitting around 80 degrees, too. But then the rain moves on in, and that's going to be late into the weekend. So your Saturday looks good. Got an Oktoberfest going on in Danville. That looks fantastic. Even a lot of festivals happening, too. So things look good there for the weekend. And then Sunday, I think much of your day is going to be dry. It's going to be toward the evening and nighttime hours. As of right now, that's the timing on it. We'll see how that turns out. UK forecast. Kickoff right there during the evening hours, and it'll be pretty mild outside. Remember, the high for that day, 4 to 5 p.m., is around 81. So you're talking about kickoff around 75 degrees, still very comfortable going in towards the second half because we'll start to increase that humidity just a bit. It won't be humid, but it'll still be very comfortable when you're talking about 69 degrees. We're staying dry. That is the key. 7-day forecast. There is your look. Guess what's kicking off today? 25th annual World Chicken Festival. That's down in London. That kicks off later on this evening, or afternoon, I should say, at about 5 p.m. 25 years, guys. It's incredible. So, yeah, it's a big event down there in London and should be really, really good there for the 25th year. Going in towards Sunday, remember, it's late in the day. Monday and Tuesday kicking off the work week, we'll have some rain laying around. But the next few days look phenomenal for any festivals, anything going on.
Looks great.
Yeah, I like it.
Enjoy that sunshine.
There you go.
Thank you. Time is now 5:47 on WKYT.
A lucky ticket holder is waking up $225 million richer this morning.
Be a nice alarm, wouldn't it? A ticket sold in San Mateo, California, matched all 6 numbers for last night's Powerball drawing. This is a look at the store where the lucky ticket was sold. The owners will get $1 million just for selling it. There's some good news for folks here in Kentucky. There's a $1 million winning ticket that was sold somewhere in the Commonwealth. Lottery officials have not said where that ticket was sold yet. Here are the numbers if you want to check your ticket: 7, 14, 21, 24, 41. And the Powerball is 26. So we'll see who comes up a winner.
It makes you wonder how far $200 million will go in California. It's probably how much you need to live there, it seems like.
Right.
All right, coming up, you'll get the stories making news at this hour.
We'll be checking that also. We have traffic, health news, what's hot on the web and social media coming up on WKYT this morning. Good morning. Rolling toward 5:52, and it's good to have you with us on WKYT this morning.
Let's take a look now at some of the stories we're working on at this hour.
We're tracking the search for a man who robbed a Lexington gas station overnight. The clerk told police a man entered the Speedway on New Circle Road, showed a gun, demanded money. Police brought out a canine to try to find the suspect. They were not able to locate him.
We're also tracking the search for a man who robbed a Good Samaritan overnight. Police say the victim picked up a man on Loudon to give him a ride. When he went to drop him off at the Citgo on Meadow Lane, the man pulled out a gun. The robber took the man's cash and phone. In national news this morning, the U.S. and its Arab allies continue to strike ISIS targets in Syria as part of President Barack Obama's strategy to degrade and destroy the terror group.
President Obama delivered a game-changing speech yesterday before the UN General Assembly, appealing for a unified front in the effort. The UN Security Council also unanimously approved a U.S. resolution to crack down on recruitment and travel of foreign fighters supporting Islamist extremists. In Pennsylvania, police have recovered a Jeep that they say Eric Freen used as a getaway car when he allegedly shot and killed a state trooper almost 2 weeks ago. Police and the FBI are searching for Freen in an area of the Pocono Mountains that remains under a virtual lockdown. They say officers have spotted him from a distance, but they have not yet captured him.
Authorities have captured a man wanted in the disappearance of a University of Virginia student. Jesse Leroy Matthew Jr. was taken into custody Wednesday on a beach in Galveston, Texas. Police think Matthew was the last person seen with 18-year-old Hannah Graham, who went missing September 13th in Charlottesville, Virginia. Seniors who notice their memory slipping may be seeing early signs of dementia.
Researchers at the University of Kentucky studied more than 500 seniors for more than a decade, and they found those who reported changes in their memory were almost 3 times more likely to develop memory and thinking problems down the road. British researchers say going up 1 skirt size every 10 years could make women more than 30% more likely to get breast cancer after menopause. The 5-year study on more than 90,000 women revealed that women who grew in the waistline and went up 2 skirt sizes per year had a 77% greater risk of breast cancer.
When it comes to treating teens for the eating disorder anorexia, family-based therapies are twice as effective as individual therapy, according to researchers at Stanford University. Their study looked at 164 teens, and it found that parents could learn to help their anorexic children get to a healthy weight and eat normally again. Let's get a check at this hour on today's traffic trouble spots with a look at some live drive traffic at 5:54 is the time. Looking out here of a view of things moving along just fine there. Now it's time to check what's making news online this morning. Bill joins us with what's happening on the web.
Well, we have all the latest for you at WKYT.com. That includes fresh information about how the Lexington Fire Department says it didn't know that a fire department member accused of running over people outside a bar had a drunk driving warrant out for his arrest that was several years old. They say it did not show up on the background check. Our web poll shows those taking part agree with local police departments being given and using surplus military equipment. It's a one-sided result, nearly 70% saying they agree with arming local police departments with the equipment that was first intended for the battlefield. Another beautiful start to our terrific September day. Micah says temperatures will climb into the upper 70s today and tomorrow, and we should be in the low 80s on Saturday. That's ahead of some changes that will include some rain, cooler weather next week. Check our weather page for the latest updates there. WKYT News learning that several Jimmy John's sandwich shops are affected by a data breach in which credit card information was stolen. It apparently happened at 216 locations, including some of the shops in Kentucky. Senator John McCain's former chief of staff using tough words to describe Kentucky Senator Rand Paul as either a fool or despicable. Kentucky.com also has a response about Mark Salter from Paul's office, which blamed his brand of politics for Republicans losing the last 2 presidential elections. And CBS This Morning is coming up at 7 with world and national news and, of course, our local updates. Join us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. And for the latest news anytime, WKYT.com as we check in with Micah.
Things look pretty good outside. I don't see any issues there on the roadways, airways, just fine. So take off, enjoy whatever you got going on. Just take it easy outside. Live sky camera, no fog issues. It's cool in some spots. If you're ever toward the western zones, that's kind of where there's just a spot that just doesn't want to leave with that cool air. It doesn't want to kind of just make its way northbound. Just sitting there, because you're at 48 in Frankfort, 46 in Danville, maybe Harrodsburg, Willisburg, Lawrenceburg, all the burgs over toward the west sitting there in the 40s. But then look at this, nearing 60 degrees in Jackson. It kind of depends on where you are. It's very mild down toward the southeast. Day part planner, Let's go through it by the afternoon right there in the upper 70s. We're closing on 80 degrees, and it looks like we will hit that in the days to come. And I'll show you that forecast off towards your weekend as it gets warmer and we bring in rain. I'll show you when that fall is coming up with another hour. WKYT News here in about 2 to 3 minutes. We'll see you back here.